سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا وقدوتنا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Respected brothers and sisters in Islam, first we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala once again. Allah has granted us the tawfiq and the ability to perform our Maghrib Salah wal Jama'ah. Alhamdulillah. We make dua that Allah accept our Salah wal Jama'ah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us sincerity and istiqamah. Ameen Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillah, this evening, just before Ramadan, we have commenced our tafsir on Surah Al-Mulk. We've completed the tafsir, and it was a beautiful surah, and it's a surah which Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam has emphasized the reading of it, even the memorization of Surah Al-Mulk. It consists of 30 ayat, and we have mentioned that Surah Al-Mulk, the purpose and the objective why we recite Surah Al-Mulk, the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said it is as a protection for the person in his grave, which is abode, a house where all of us will go to. It's our first house of the Akhirah. So a person who frequently recites it specifically after Maghrib or before he goes to sleep, it is a means of protection for the person in his grave from the adhab of the qabr. So we make dua, Allah grant us to be of those who will recite the surah. Ameen Rabbil Alameen. Teach it to our youngsters, teach it to our children, let them hear us recite it as parents in the home, so they can become familiar with it. Ameen Rabbil Alameen. This evening, inshallah, we start with our surah Al-Qalam. Also a beautiful surah in the Quran. Beautiful ayat where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts with the surah. بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نون والقلم وما يسطرون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts off by saying Noon, by the pen and what they write. And first thing we acknowledge and we recognize is the beginning of the surah. Compared to other surahs, it is a unique starting. It starts with, in Arabic they call it huruful muqatta'at, the disjointed letters. And some of them start with one letter, for example, Surah Noon, one letter. Some start with two letters, like for example, Toha. Some with three letters, Alif Lam Mim. Some four, some even five is the most. Surah Kaf, Surah Maryam, Kaf, Ha, Ya, Ain, Sad. 5 letters. And these letters in Arabic are called the huruful muqatta'at. And there are, the Mufassirun mentioned, there's about 29 surahs which starts like this. And as you know that the meaning of these surahs is in the treasures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. None knows the meaning of this except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that which Allah has made known to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam of the meanings of these beginning, this huruful muqatta'at. And the ulama mentioned, Mufassirun mentioned, when Allah starts a surah like this, Allah wants to catch the attention of the reader. So when Allah starts a surah, Alif Lam Mim or Noon, Toha, immediately it attracts the attention of the reciter, the reader. And then immediately after that, Allah takes an oath by the pen and what they write. By the pen and what they write. And the ulama has mentioned the pen here refers to 3 opinions. The first one, it refers to the pen of decree. Some say the first thing Allah has created was the pen, and Allah has commanded the pen write. And the pen started writing the decree of every living human being that will live in this dunya, his entire life and what it entails and every detail of it. And this pen followed the command of Allah and it started writing. The second explanation of this pen, the ulama it refers to the pen of the malaika which they use to write the deeds of a person. We know that every person Allah has appointed malaika, one to write the good and the evil of a person. So some say that this pen refers to that malaika, the pen that they use to write. And also they mention thirdly, it refers to the pen that is used that we write as human beings. Ibn Kathir rahimahullah mentioned, he says, this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is bringing to our attention that how Allah has favored us as insan, how Allah has favored us, how we acquire knowledge through the pen, through writing. Allah has made the pen a way in how which we and you as insan acquire knowledge. The first thing we learn is we learn how to write. And then from there we use the pen for everything we do. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, beautifully in the next ayah, Allah says, مَا أَنْتَ بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ بِمَجْنُونَ. That, O Muhammad, with the grace of your Lord, you are not insane. You are not insane. And here Allah is addressing Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. is the pagans in Mecca, they used to claim that Rasulullah is insane. They used to say that he's a majnoon, a mad person. And the Mufassirun mentioned they would say he's mad because why? This whole idea of calling people to the oneness of Allah. They were only known to worship idols. For them to worship one idol was completely strange. So when Rasulullah started preaching the oneness of Allah, they called him the insane man. And they also said it is an insane and mad person, because why? The entire concept of wahi. They couldn't wrap their minds around the concept of wahi, how Allah sent Jibreel to come down and send certain verses upon the heart of Rasulullah to reveal to Rasulullah, and then Rasulullah will experience at different times. Sometimes his face will change color, sometimes his head will be leaning down like someone who's carrying a heavy weight. So Allah says, قَوْلًا ثَقِيلًا, the Quran is heavy words. One day Sahaba radiallahu anhu, he mentioned it was on the camel and he received wahi. The camel couldn't carry the weight of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It immediately kneeled down. So wahi was something that they couldn't experience, they couldn't understand. And they regarded Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as being someone who's mad. And yeah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah is the one testifying that Muhammad, you're not a mad person. Imagine Allah is the one who testifies. If someone tell me that I'm mad, and then the next person who's maybe of high rank or respected in community, he says, no, that person is not mad. You'll believe that person, right? Because of the status he holds in the community. So imagine Allah is the creator of everyone. The creator of this dunya is saying that Muhammad, don't worry, you're not a mad person. Not only that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِنَّكَ لَأَجْرًا غَيْرَ مَمْنُونَ Muhammad, and you will definitely have a reward that will never end. Allah is telling Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to comfort him with, oh Muhammad, no matter what they are saying, you continue with your work that you are doing. Have sabr, and this reward Allah has given to Rasulullah because of the sabr he endured while giving this da'wah here. In Ma'arif al-Quran, the Mufassir mentioned, it says that this is a lesson for all those da'is, those ulama, the students of deen, those who are in the field of propagating this deen of Allah. It doesn't come easy, it comes with a lot of problems at times, a lot of criticism, a lot of people calling you names at times. But if you make sabr like our Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has made sabr, the reward will be great by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ, Allah says, and you are surely exalted on an exalted level of character. Imagine Allah is telling Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Allah exalts the character of His noble Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and it is recorded forever in the Quran for the generations to read and to attest to. You know, normally when you apply for a job, they want a recommendation letter. And if the recommendation letter comes from someone who is regarded as someone reliable, and they easily get the job. And they will regard as being an honest person. Imagine Allah, that's why you find never in history will they find they attack the character of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why? Because Allah has testified and Allah has made it such that Allah said that His character is of an exalted level of character. No one can compare to the character of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this is a testimony in the Quran for every person to read until the day of Qiyamah. No one can deny the fact that he had the best of character. No one can deny that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam character was the best. فَسَتُبْصِرُ وَيُبْصِرُونَ, so you will see and they will see. Allah says to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you will see and they will see. بِأَيِّكُمُ الْمَفْتُونَ, who will then will be misguided, who will be in the wrong path. Soon it will be clear to you, Ya Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this last verse of this evening, إِنَّ رَبَّكَ هُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِمَنْ ضَلَّ عَنْ سَبِيلِهِ وَهُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِالْمُهْتَدِينَ, that indeed Allah is the one who knows who has gone astray, and Allah is the one who knows full well who is the believers and the rightly guided. Allah has knowledge of the level of iman of every person, the level of taqwa of every person. Allah knows whether the person is claiming to have iman but internally there's no iman. Allah knows if a person pretends to be pious but inwardly is not pious. Allah knows the level of every person's iman. No one can hide it from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these ayat, my beloved brothers and sisters, they are the beautiful ayat. Allah comforting the heart of our beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam with the claim that the kuffar and the mushrikun made that he is a mad person, a majnoon. And Allah clarifies and Allah exalts the akhlaq of Rasulullah. So Allah reminds Rasulullah of the great reward that is awaiting for him. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the tawfiq and understanding. Wa akhiru da'wan alhamdulillah.